Okay, so we continue from here. We are okay. So we are going to start now to build the UI of this Note app. And so what I'm just going to clear all this one, so I don't need this anymore because we already achieved what we needed. And the auth service, yeah, I think this auth service we don't need it as well, so I'm going to close it. So I'm only working with these two pages, this home page and this create note. So here we have our app. I'm going to create a floating action button which will add like a button. So when we click on the button, it's going to take us to the add to do page, add notes page. Sorry, I keep saying to do, but let's say floating action button. So I think I'm going to use floating action button dot extended. Yeah, I think that one is much more better to give us this nice feel. So the label, let me hover, is actually a widget, so I can return a row. So the row can have an icon. Let me see if we can actually use okay, so the row can have an icon as well as a text widget. So I can just use two things here. So the children, first thing I'll use an icon. So it's just gonna be icon dot, let's just name this one add, and then I'll have a text widget. So this is just gonna be add notes like so, and you want to make this one a const constructor and like so. Okay, role is not actually a const constructor, so we're going to leave that and make this to a const constructor. Oops, I think something is wrong. Okay, so let me hover. This linter is really awesome. So let's see. Okay, this is cool. Alright, so here now what we are going to do is just to navigate to the next page, but we are not going to use this push and remove. So I'm going to remove it because I just want to push and give the user the ability to return back to the previous page. So I'll just leave it this way. And this one, instead of being home page, I'm going to say create notes, more like a create notes page. Okay, so I hope you understand. Alright, so now I'm going to create, let's go back to the create notes page. I'm going to create the class, and okay, the material app, and I'm going to use a stateful widget because this page is going to change dynamically while we are working on it. So I'll say create notes page like so, and so here I'm just going to have an app bar which is going to be create notes, more like add notes. Yeah, so we have the title which is going to be a const constructor, and I will say add notes. Okay, so we might be changing this stuff dynamically depending on where we are coming from. So if we want to edit the page, it's going to change to edit page. If we want to add a need to do, it's going to be add note. Okay, so that way. Okay, can I ask for your permission to call this stuff to do? Okay, because it just keeps popping out of my mouth. So let's just maybe if I call it note or to do, so let's just go with that. Alright, so now I finished building the floating action button. Remember, this body is where we're going to build the widgets, okay, like all our to do. So you can see the add to do. So if I click on it now, it's actually going to take us to this page where we have the add note, and you can see this back arrow button. That's because we use push. Okay, but assuming we use push and remove until you're not going to see that arrow button to navigate to the next page. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so few things. Let me just build how the UI is going to be. So basically the homepage UI is just going to have a title, the subtitle, like more like a short subtitle, and then the date that the stuff was added. And probably since we signed up with email, yeah, since we signed up with email, we can also see our image as well. So I'm going to do it that way. So to see the image, like your own image as a user. Remember, we are signing up with Google Image, so it provides us the Firebase auth.display profile URL to get the image of the user, so we can actually work with that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to have a body, and I'll call this one a center widget. And then inside the center widget, I'm going to have a child who is going to be a list view. So for now, I'm just going to have a children. So let me just generate some simple basic list. So we can use list.generate. Remember, we are going to edit this later, so I can just make it 10. And this is actually, the data is going to come from Firebase. We will make it dummy. But for the purpose of this, because I just want to build the UI and then continue later, I'm going to make it to look like a dummy test. Okay, so basically we'll be using a list style because it will really help us to build a nice looking UI interface. So the title, I will just call it the test. So I'll call this one, okay, I'll call this one note title. Okay, just forget about, don't pay attention of that length error, so because you're going to fix that later, so don't really pay attention to that. And this one is going to be some maybe short description about the note, same, yeah, short description about it, like so. And then we are going to have a leading, yeah, a leading, trailing. Which one is leading? The one that stays over here. Okay, let's see. Leading, trailing. I always confused with that, but let's see. Maybe the leading can be the date. I don't know if leading is here, but it can be the date that the user added it to do. Okay, no, we are not going to work. It will be a delete button actually. Yeah, I want to make it a delete icon. Icons.delete. So once you click on it, it's going to delete the to do from the list. Okay, so just forget about all this stuff that are showing like this. It's just length error, so we're going to fix that later, but just leave it the way it is. Okay, this one is actually leading is the one that used to be here, so this one should be trailing. Yeah, so I always confuse them. Okay, trailing, and now I change my mind. This one is not going to be a short description. It's actually going to be the date that the to do or the note was added. Okay, so I just decided to change my mind. There's nothing, no special stuff there. It's still the same stuff. Okay, so it's going to be the date that the to do was added, the note was added, sorry. And this one is going to be the title of the note, and this is going to be the delete button. Once we click on it, it's going to delete the note from Firebase. Okay, and then update this stuff with time. All right, so here I'm going to have a trading, a leading icon, which is basically going to be the logo of the user. Yeah. So I'm just going to say, I'll call this a circular avatar. Remember, it's just one user that is using this stuff. Okay, we are not sharing it with any other person. So I can just generate the background image to come from Firebase itself. Okay, so we can just say the network URL can just be Firebase auth.instance. Yeah. Okay, update that. Okay, Firebase auth. Should it be here? All right. So now if I save it, you see that my profile picture, okay, it should be D, I believe, yeah, because it's actually what we get from Firebase. Okay, then I'm also going to create a button here. So once we click on that button, we are going to log out from the user, assuming we want to log in another user. Okay, so I'm going to create, I'll call this one an action button, and I will wrap it with an icon button. Okay, and for now, let me just leave it. Okay, let me just leave it to be null because we're going to fix that later, or I can just decide to fix it in this particular video series. Okay, so I'll say icons.exit to app. That's what I normally use. I don't know if it's here. Okay, exit to app, and if we save this now, you should see an icon here. Yeah, looking good. So if we click on this icon, we should just sign out the user. Okay, in your case, you can decide to show a dialog, but that will be later on. But for now, let me just sign out the user. So remember, this is our auth class. Yeah, we have the auth class. So if I call the dot, we'll be able to sign out the user and then sign out the user successfully. Okay, so I want to copy this stuff that I'm returning, and then I will go here and then call the auth class. Okay, dot sign out. No, is it sign out or log out? Okay, yeah, log out. Then I can have the dot then. So once it returns anything, if the value that was returned is equal to, okay, sign out, then what we do is just to navigate the user back to the, yeah, if it's equal to sign out, we just navigate the user back to the login page, or we can just take the user to splash screen, and then splash screen will do its work. Right, I think that way will be better. So let me go to, yeah, where did I, okay, this stuff, but no, this one won't be nice. So let me just go to the splash screen and okay, copy this home page, or let me just take the user direct to the Google sign in page. So you just go there and sign in again. All right, so I'm going to, I hope I'm not too fast and I'm not confusing you also. and paste this here. So make sure you import this one in this class as well. Okay, so save this stuff now, and what we do now, I'm going to click here now. You see it's going to take us to this page. So if I do a hot restart now, we are not actually going to the home page again. It will take us to this login page because right now the user is null. So let's see that. All right, it's taking us here. Okay, so if we click on it now, so let me select one of my accounts, this one, and it should just take us directly to the home page, and my image should show this time. So these are my images, and if we go to Firebase now, you see that we now have 2 users, which is me, my 2 accounts. Okay, so this is where we'll stop for this video, and next one we continue.